Little CEO and the Billionaire, Chapter 1. The call that changed everything. The phone on Marcus Reed's granite countertop lit up at 8:07 a.m., buzzing like an angry bumblebee. He was halfway through flipping a sweet tea pancake, don't ask, when the caller ID flashed unknown. Marcus, 42, polished but always running late, stabbed the speaker button with his spatula. "Mr. Reed, this is Mercy General. We have a 5-year-old girl here asking for you by name." Pancake's sizzle turned to silence. Marcus blinked at the wall. He didn't even have kids, least not that he knew of. The nurse kept talking. "She says her mama's supposed to interview with your company this morning, but mama's in surgery right now. Kid refuses to leave till you promise her the meeting's still on." Marcus's heart did a weird hop. He owned Reed River Foods, biggest employer in Riverbend, Georgia. Fancy title, bigger headaches. Interviews happened every day. Sick moms didn't usually send kindergartners as backup. "I'll be there in 10, he said, burning the pancake to a crunchy memorial. Outside, June humidity slapped him like it paid rent. He barreled into his battered pickup, Billionaire in a rust bucket, and tore across Magnolia Avenue, windows down, gospel station blaring because the Bluetooth hated him. Mercy General smelled like lemon cleaner and bad coffee. At the nurse's desk sat the tiniest Storm he'd ever seen. Brown-skinned girl, puffball ponytails, sparkly unicorn tee 2 sizes too large, hugging a manila folder like it held the moon. Her eyes, big, wet, stubborn, locked on Marcus the second he stepped inside. "You Marcus Reed?" she asked, voice steady but shaky round the edges. He crouched. "Yes, ma'am, and you are?" "Jasmine Brooks." She thrust the folder. "Mama's resume, interviews at 9. She's gonna wake up kinda cut open, so I came instead. Can you still see her?" Folks in the lobby froze like statues. One old man whispered, "Lord, send that child some angels." Marcus opened the folder. Straight A transcripts. Community college honors, volunteer gigs, 3 minimum wage jobs stacked like Tetris. Jasmine bounced on her heels, waiting. He cleared his throat. "Tell you what, Miss Jasmine, I'm gonna hold Mama's spot and we'll do the interview when she's better. Deal?" She didn't smile. She studied him like a tiny FBI agent. "Pinky promise." Marcus cracked up, couldn't help it, then hooked his pinky around hers. Locked. Right then the ER doors whooshed open. A gurney rolled past with a woman Marcus recognized from the resume photo, Tasha Brooks, 27, looking pale as printer paper. For half a second her eyelids fluttered, met his, then shut again. Jasmine clutched Marcus's hand. "That's my mama. She's real brave. Don't let her lose this, okay?" Marcus felt something shift under his ribs, like the gears of a rusty lock finally turning. "I got her," he said. Outside, thunder growled over Riverbend, though the sky stayed blue. Funny how storms sometimes started with a single call. Chapter 2. A kid, a dream, and a CEO who don't smile. Marcus barreled back to Reed River Foods with Jasmine buckled into the shotgun seat, her feet dangling over a mountain of fast food wrappers. Rain pelted the windshield like gravel, thunder thumping bass lines overhead. Jasmine stared out wide-eyed, while Marcus told himself he definitely wasn't nervous driving a 5-year-old he'd met 20 minutes ago. At headquarters, the lobby smelled of fresh wax and ambition. Suits hustled, heels clicked, but everything screeched to a halt when Marcus walked in holding a pink unicorn umbrella and a little girl in sparkly sneakers. Mr. Reed?" stammered Terrence, the security chief built like a vending machine. You babysitting now? Extended interview T, Marcus deadpanned. Clock her in. He ushered Jasmine to conference room B, oak table big enough to land a helicopter, windows pouring gray daylight over polished floors. She hopped onto a chair, knees nowhere near the edge, and plopped her resume folder on the table like it was the gospel. Marcus paced, tugging at his tie. He usually terrified applicants within 60 seconds. Today he felt like the applicant. "All right, Miss Jasmine," he began, clearing his throat. "Convince me." "Why should I hire your mama?" Jasmine folded her arms. "First off, she can run numbers faster than your fancy calculators. Second, she'll treat your workers like human beings, not barcode stickers. And third," she pointed at a motivational poster on the wall, "teamwork makes the dream work. She actually believes that stuff. You just print it." Marcus flinched, half insulted, half impressed. Outside, lightning cracked so bright the glass shivered. He slid into the chair across from her. "What about experience? This is a logistics coordinator role. Big jargon, bigger headaches." Jasmine shrugged. "Mama coordinated 3 jobs in me. That's logistics." Marcus almost laughed, but stopped himself. CEOs weren't supposed to show teeth. "How's she with pressure?" "Sir, she delivered hot wings on Super Bowl Sunday with a busted radiator, while studying for night classes, in heels." Marcus pictured that. The board's Ivy League hires couldn't even find the paper in the copier. A soft knock interrupted, his VP, Carla, with perfect braids and permanent skepticism. She eyed Jasmine. "Marcus, the quarterly call starts in 5. "Push at 10, he said. Carla's eyebrows climbed to heaven, but she left. Jasmine slid a crayon drawing across the table. It showed Marcus in a crown holding a giant spoon. "That's you," she said, "and king of food." Marcus felt the crown burn hot on his invisible bald spot. He cleared his throat again. "Jasmine, your mama's got the job. Probationary, 50 days. Full benefits." Jasmine's eyes went galaxy-wide. "For real?" He offered his pinky. "Locked." Outside, the storm cracked open, but sunlight broke through behind it, a gold ribbon slicing the clouds. Jasmine gasped. "Mama says storms wash lies off the streets." Marcus stared at the bright line of light. In that flash, he saw a woman battling a busted radiator, a kid with more grit than most executives, and himself, rich as sin but bankrupt on purpose. Security Chief Terrence poked in. "Boss, press wants a quote about that thunderstorm messing with delivery routes." Marcus smiled, an actual face-cramping smile. "Tell 'em the road's clear. A kid just rerouted our whole future." Moral for the road. Sometimes the tiniest voice drags the biggest heart out of hiding, and a promise made in a storm can feed a whole town when the sun comes back. Chapter 3, Flowers, Fried Chicken, and Second Chances. Late afternoon sun slid across Riverbend like melted gold when a dented delivery van pulled up to Jasmine's apartment complex. The air smelled of summer rain and hot asphalt. The driver, skinny kid with a grin too big for his face, lugged a stone-gray box and a bouquet of wild daisies up 3 flights, whistling an off-key R&B hook. He knocked. Inside, Denise Brown, stitches fresh, hospital bracelet still on, shuffled in slipper socks to open the door. One look at the label, Reed River Foods, made her knees try to quit. The kid saluted. "Package for the strongest lady in Georgia, says so right here." He handed over the flowers, then the box hot enough to fog her glasses. Jasmine popped out from behind the couch like popcorn. "Mama, open it!" she squealed. Inside the box sat a 12-piece bucket of Reed River's lemon pepper fried chicken, still sizzling, plus a neat envelope. Denise unfolded the note, Marcus's bold handwriting dancing across the page. "Rest up. Interviews rescheduled for next Monday, 9 a.m. sharp. Your seat's waiting." Mr. Denise pressed the letter to her chest. Tears showed up uninvited, but she laughed through them. "Girl, what did you do?" Jasmine shrugged like 5-year-olds negotiating bedtimes. "Just told the truth. And the truth got us chicken." Night settled in with cicadas singing backup. Denise ate one drumstick, couldn't taste anything past gratitude, then grabbed her beat-up laptop. If she was walking into Reed River HQ, she would march in ready. Jasmine colored beside her, humming gospel chords off-key. Across town, Marcus Reed stared out his penthouse window at blinking streetlights. Thunderheads hovered but held their reign like heaven eavesdropping. Carla, his VP, sat on the sofa, arms folded. "You sent dinner and daisies to a candidate," she said. "Board will say you've lost it." He sipped lukewarm coffee. "Board can write me a memo." Carla's eyebrow did a slow climb. "You're serious?" "Carla, that kid negotiated better than half our suppliers. If her mama's half as sharp, we need her." Carla softened. "Storm's brewing, boss. Folks love gossip more than fried chicken." Marcus smirked. "Let 'em chew." Monday arrived fast. Riverbend's morning smelled of honeysuckle and diesel fumes. Denise stepped off the bus in a consignment shop suit that fit like a prayer. Anxiety fluttered in her stomach, but Jasmine's pinky promise echoed, "You got this, Mama." Inside HQ, whispers chased her down the hall. "That's the surgery lady. CEO's charity case." Denise straightened her shoulders. "Charity my foot. I earned this seat." Marcus greeted her outside the glass conference room. He wore the same gray suit but different eyes, softer like someone cracked them open overnight. "Ms. Brown," he said, extending a hand. "Ready?" "I was born ready," she answered, surprising even herself. He laughed, and the sound stretched across the marble floor like sunlight. The interview turned into a chess match. Supply chain puzzles, crisis drills, quick-fire math. Denise danced through every question, sweat beading at her temples. Halfway in, Marcus tossed a curveball. "Name one rule you'd break for the job." Denise met his stare. "I'd break the rule that says temp workers eat last. Food builds loyalty. Hungry teams make sloppy choices." Marcus leaned back, smile spreading slow. Across the glass wall, Carla watched, nodding like a choir director who just heard the right note. When it ended, Marcus escorted Denise to the elevator. "HR'll call you tonight. Welcome to the family." Denise exhaled a month's worth of fear. Down in the lobby, she spotted Jasmine on a bench, feet kicking the air, 2 juice boxes in hand. She sprinted over, scooped the child up, and twirled till both were dizzy. Outside, clouds finally cracked and rain spilled warm and sweet. Folks scattered, but mother and daughter stood laughing under the downpour, baptizing their brand new beginning. Moral drifting on the thunder. When fate knocks you flat, answer with faith, a good plan, and, if the heavens allow, a bucket of lemon pepper love. Chapter 4. The Woman with the Shadow. Denise's first full week at Reed River felt like running a marathon in church shoes. Every hallway smelled of fresh paint and big egos. Folks smiled plastic and whispered real, calling her CEO's pet behind coffee lids. She logged in early, double-checked purchase orders, and learned the warehouse layout by heart before lunch. By Thursday, she could route a truckload of frozen wings around a highway accident while stirring sugar into her tea. Still, a shadow lingered, the kind that followed newcomers who didn't climb the usual ladder. That shadow had a name, Daryl Quincy, senior logistics manager with teeth too white and patience too short. He'd spent 10 years crawling toward Marcus's chair, and here came Denise, fast-tracked by a 5-year-old and a bucket of chicken. Daryl greeted her with the warmth of a parking ticket. Late Friday, a storm rolled in, thick clouds turning the windows dark as oil. Most staff bailed early, but Denise stayed, triple-checking weekend shipments. Jasmine sat on a beanbag in Marcus's office, coloring a semi-truck pink. Rain hammered the roof like a drum line when Daryl poked his head into the logistics bullpen. "Brown, you still here? Need you to upload the Memphis manifest before midnight," he said, tossing a flash drive onto her desk. "If it's late, trucks don't roll Monday, and that'll be on you." He winked like a fox around a henhouse. Denise plugged in the drive, empty, no files, just blank space. Her stomach dipped. She glanced at the clock, 8:13 p.m. It had left. Memphis orders were scattered across 3 email threads in a glitchy database. Daryl set her up to fail. Outside, thunder cracked. Inside, she inhaled, cracked her knuckles, and whispered, "Not today, Satan." She pulled Jasmine's laptop from the beanbag pile, fired up spreadsheets, and dove in. Case counts, pallet numbers, driver IDs. Fingers flew while rain pounded a tribal rhythm on the windows. Jasmine curled beside her, fighting sleep, humming old gospel under her breath. At 10:45, the elevator dinged. Marcus stepped out carrying 2 dripping umbrellas and a bag of takeout. His tie hung loose. Worry lines dug trenches in his brow. He spotted the glow of Denise's desk and hurried over. "Why aren't you home?" he asked. She told him about Daryl, the empty flash drive, the ticking clock. Marcus's jaw clenched. He picked the wrong night. He shed his suit jacket, rolled up sleeves, and pulled a chair beside her. For the next hour, they worked shoulder to shoulder, cross-checking invoices and rerouting carriers. Marcus cracked jokes about his awful high school GPA. Denise laughed so hard she snorted, then blushed. Jasmine woke just long enough to murmur, "Uncle Marcus is funny," before nodding off again. At 11:56, Denise hit send. Memphis manifest uploaded, stamped, done. She sagged back, exhausted but blazing bright. Marcus whispered, "You just saved $200,000 in penalty fees." She shrugged. "I saved Monday's chicken." He chuckled, gaze soft. Lightning flashed, catching the raindrops racing down the glass like silver tears. For a breath they sat in hush so thick even the storm respected it. Then Marcus cleared his throat. "Come Monday, Daryl's shadow won't reach you, I promise." Denise met his eyes, steady, serious, and saw the storm inside him quiet. Downstairs, Daryl lurked at reception, waiting to watch Denise fail. When he refreshed the shipping dashboard and saw her file stamped on time, his grin cracked like cheap porcelain. Marcus walked Denise and Jasmine to the lobby. Rain eased into a mist, streetlights shining halos over puddles. He opened the door of his pickup, fastened Jasmine's seatbelt, then turned to Denise. "Get some rest, Ms. Brown. Monday's a new chapter." She smiled, rain sprinkling her cheeks. "For both of us, maybe." Morrill carried on the evening breeze. A jealous shadow can block the sun for a moment, but a determined heart burns bright enough to light its own path, and sometimes someone else's. Chapter 5. The little CEO Riverbend settled into early December, the sky bright as polished steel and cold enough to make breath look like smoke. Reed River Foods buzzed with holiday chaos, orders tripled, temp workers jammed the docks, and everybody's patience ran thin as leftover gravy. In the middle of that frenzy walked Jasmine Brooks in a red velvet coat, passing out candy cane stickers and tiny fist bumps. Folks called her the little CEO, and nobody dared skip a fist bump. Rumor said it brought bad luck on the production line. Upstairs, Denise balanced year-end reports while her nerves played double dutch. Tonight was the company gala, first time she'd ever wear a dress that wasn't from Goodwill. She hummed low to calm herself, but numbers blurred when her phone pinged. A text from Marcus. Need a favor. Meet me on the roof at 6. Dress warm. Mr. Denise's eyebrows nearly flew off her face. The roof? December? Boy, you crazy, she thought, but typed, on my way. 6 o'clock sharp, she climbed the maintenance stairs, heels clicking like timid drums. The door opened to a skyline painted orange and pink, city lights winking awake. Marcus stood by a propane heater. Plaid scarf looped around his neck, eyes full of mischief. Trust fall time, Denise joked, hugging her coat tight. Nothing that dramatic, he said. I wanted you to see something before tonight. He pointed east, where freight trucks rumbled into the sunset. That's the Memphis fleet you saved. Company would have missed our biggest quarter without you. Denise flushed, steam rising with her breath. Wasn't just me. Maybe. But I need the board to understand who keeps the wheels turning. He handed her a small velvet box. Open it after the speeches. She frowned. Marcus, I can't take jewelry. Who said it's jewelry? His grin teased, but eyes stayed serious. Please, just keep it till later. Before she could argue, the service door banged open and Jasmine tumbled out, Carla chasing. Mom, we're going to be late for hair, Jasmine wheezed. Carla rolled her eyes. Kid runs faster than accounting rumors. Marcus laughed. Go. I'll see y'all downstairs. The gala burst like a confetti cannon. Silver balloons, Motown band, smells of smoked turkey sliding through the air-conditioned ballroom. Denise wore a forest green dress that swished like leaves. Marcus noticed her the second she entered, heart thumping traitorously. Daryl Quincy lurked near the bar, plastering a thin smile and nursing club soda. He had filed a formal complaint accusing Denise of favoritism. HR called it petty, but Marcus knew snakes didn't quit easy. Midway through dessert, Marcus tapped a spoon to his glass. Music faded, chatter hushed. Spotlights warmed his face. Family, he began. First time he'd used that word without choking. A month ago, a little girl strutted into my lobby asking for one thing. A fair shot for her mama. Tonight that mama has saved us a fortune, rewired our culture, and reminded me why I started this company in the first place. Whispers rippled, necks craned. Daryl's smirk fell like a popped balloon. Marcus continued. Denise Brown, come up here. Applause thundered. Denise's knees wobbled, but Jasmine squeezed her hand and whispered, Go get 'em. Denise walked to the stage, green dress catching starlight from the chandeliers. Marcus opened the velvet box. Inside lay a small silver key on a chain. This unlocks the office next to mine. Senior Logistics Director. Pay bump, stock options, the works. Gasps echoed. Denise blinked, tears threatening mascara. Marcus, I'm just a month in. You're right on time, he said softly. Cheers erupted. Even the band clapped drumsticks. Daryl stormed out, shoulders stiff as rebar. Jasmine stuck out her tongue at his retreating back. Carla caught her, shook her head, but couldn't hide her smile. Afterward, Marcus found Denise near the punch bowl, fiddling with the key. "Still think it's jewelry?" he teased. She nudged his shoulder. "It's heavier." They shared a laugh that felt like an exhale after years of holding breath. Jasmine wedged between them. "So, Baba Marcus," she said loud enough for onlookers to hear, "ice cream on the way home?" Marcus feigned shock. "Little CEO already negotiating perks?" Denise covered her face, half mortified, half gleeful. Marcus knelt eye level with Jasmine. "Only if your mom signs off." Denise sighed theatrically. "Fine, but one scoop, board meeting at bedtime." They left the building under a sky dusted with stars. Cold air sharp and clean. Streetlights reflected in puddles like tiny moons. As they reached Marcus's truck, Jasmine hopped ahead, boots splashing. Denise slipped her arm into Marcus's. He looked down, surprised, then covered her hand with his. Somewhere in that December hush, two hearts stitched themselves together without ceremony. The little CEO twirled laughing, and the city lights seemed to spin with her. Moral drifting into the night. When love shows up disguised as duty, welcome it. For from small hands and humble keys, whole kingdoms can rise.